Hello everyone, welcome to Growth Partners. Today we're going to talk about how do we prepare financial statements for non-corporate entities with the Excel tool provided by Tally Solutions. So the tool has just been released and there are a lot of chartered accountants who have been reaching to us at our office asking us about the queries they have with regards to the tool and how to use that. So we tried to make a video like this and also we have showed in the earlier video of how do we enable that add-on in Tally, and now in this video we'll show you how exactly you export the XML file, how do you import the XML file, and how do you do mapping and all of that, including FAQ. So I'll quickly show you the agenda that we have. Yeah, this is the topic for today: financial statements for non-corporate entities, an Excel tool by Tally Solutions. And this is the agenda that we'll cover. First one is we'll discuss a little bit about guidance note by ICAI. Second, we'll show you how to activate the add-on, which has also been covered in a separate video on our YouTube channel. Third, we'll show you how do you export the Tally data. Fourth, about importing the XML file into an Excel tool provided by Tally. Fifth would be the mapping, which is the most important part, and sixth would be the FAQ part, which are the normal queries that we have been receiving from the chartered accountants community. Let's quickly get into this presentation. So first one is the guidance note by ICAI. So ICAI, starting from 1st of April 2024, has mandated a format which has to be used for non-corporate entities. Balance sheet, P&L, and the notes to accounts. Everything should be in that format. So Tally has tried to bring in a Excel tool which would work with an XML file exported from Tally, and by which approximately what we've seen working with the chartered accountant clients that we have, it would save 70 to 80% of the time of a chartered accountant or their team. And that's how beautiful this tool is. I'll show you how this tool also can be used. So the first point that I want to cover is how to activate the add-on. We have a separate video. You can just type Growth Partners on YouTube channel and you'll be able to see this video just released today, 8th of August. And there we have shown you how do we activate this add-on, how do we update the license, and you can use this add-on only if you are in TallyPrime 6.0 or higher version. And once you update the license, automatically a folder gets created in your Tally file folder, and from there you can use the Excel sheet. First question that we've got often from CA community is, do we need an active TSS for this? No, answer is no, you do not need an active TSS for using this add-on. The second question was what version of Tally supports this add-on, and for that we have the clarity here. We only the TallyPrime 6.0 and above will support this add-on. Any other version 5.0, 4.0, 3.0, or for that matter Tally ERP will not support this. So a lot of chartered accountants who are still in Tally ERP, which is faded away in 2020, we request them to move forward to TallyPrime 6.0, which is even more faster. And you can, if your Tally licenses are expired, you can always reach out to us for renewals as well. So first one is export of data. So I'll just quickly open Tally. So here you can see Growth Partners NCE demo. We've just made a demo data for you to understand of how this exactly works. So, and with this we have that Excel sheet. How to get this Excel sheet that we've shown in the earlier video on Growth Partners YouTube channel, which you can check. So in this Excel sheet, you have so many files. So first one is README. We would recommend all the chartered accountants or their teams, their audit leads, to go through this README sheet so that you get a complete understanding of how the Tally has created this Excel sheet and what has been the logic behind this Excel sheet, right? Next we have index. So here when we export data from Tally, what exactly are we exporting that we have tried to give here? So we are exporting actually 8 things. One is trial balance of current year, trial balance of previous year. Similarly, stock summary of current year and previous year. Similarly, trade payables of current year and previous year, and trade receivables of current year and previous year. This is required for that aging, current, non-current, trade payables greater than 6 months, less than 6 months, and all of that. And also we've tried to give in one-liners of what exactly we have done in the notes, what we have covered, and all of that, right? After that we have basic info. This is the sheet where all the information gets filled, which is the permanent details of your clients. So I'll just quickly show you how to export. So if you click on export from gateway of Tally, you wouldn't see any new option here because this is enabled only for this add-on will by default work only for those users to whom you have enabled an access for balance sheet. We have tried to, Tally has tried to give a control here. So we will go to the balance sheet, and here if you click on export, you'll be able to see that financial statements for non-corporate entities. You'll be able to see this option here. So we have to click here, and like the guidance note asks us to give a comparative between the previous year and the current year, and that's why Tally also has given you that option. There might be a case that you have split the data, so even if that is the case, you do not have to worry, because we have given that option as well. So like you can see, there's an option for current year and previous year. Like our demo data has got 2 years in one data itself, but if you have 2 years of data in two different companies, it's completely okay. So the third option, you have to click yes here, previous year data in a separate company. Once you click on yes, it will allow you to select that company and also choose the year that you want from that company, right? So we have done it seamless so that anybody who's starting this from day one, he understands what exactly he has to do. Everything pretty much is self-explanatory. And then there are a few options that you can choose the file where you want to export and all of that. And here you can see that the file format has to be XML. Here we have not given any option, because the Excel tool that we've given only supports XML. So there's no point we giving you an option to export this in Excel or CSV or PDF. And then finally you have to select the folder path. I'll re-export this. I already have it here, but I'll delete this, and then I'll copy the path. I'll come back here, I'll paste this path, and this will be the name of the file, financial statements for NCE. NCE is the abbreviation commonly used not for non-corporate entities. And here I'll click on export, and like you can see, we have this export here. It's 720. So this has been exported just now, right? So after this, we have, like we saw now, what is export of the data. Effortlessly export your financial data from Tally in XML format. This standardized export ensures compatibility with Excel tool, streamlining the data transfer process, right? So even if you're using Tally ERP or TallyPrime, any other older version also, you will might as well have to move or migrate the data to TallyPrime 6.0 first, and then take it out as an Excel format. A lot of our chartered accountants are asking that this migration of data is an extra work. Yes, it's an extra work for you, but it's for your good. So in this video, you will see how this wonderful tool is saving 70-80% of your time. And if you have to spend a little more time on migrating the data to TallyPrime 6.0, I think it's pretty much justified. The next step would be importing XML into Excel tool. So I'll just read out for you. Once exported, import the XML file directly into specialized Excel tool. This tool is designed to interpret your Tally data and prepare it for financial statement generation. Now let's go to that Excel tool. So this is that Excel tool. How to get this Excel tool, I'm again repeating. We have a separate video on Growth Partners YouTube channel where we have shown you how to enable this add-on. There we have exactly shown how do you get this Excel file. So now here there's a button for selecting XML file. Before that, I'll just copy the path of this folder. I'll copy this path. I'll come back to the Excel. I'll click on this button and I'll paste this path, and I can see this XML file here, and I'll click on OK. Like you can see, data import is in progress. This is a completely macro enabled Excel sheet which has been designed specially for this purpose. And you can see here pretty much everything is pre-filled, right? Everything is pre-filled, and you can change something which you want. For example, name of entity, signature, whatever is the firm name, we can write here, signing auditor, all those details you can write so that they are formatted in a good way in your balance sheet, P&L, and notes to accounts everywhere. So now the first one we have is balance sheet. Then you can see we have so many sheets here, so many sheets here. All of them are interlinked through formulas. I'll show you one by one. So first we are coming to balance sheet. Here you can see we have given a comparative of 31st March 2025 and 31st March 2024. So this is the requirement by institute guidance note. And here, like you can see something in yellow, right? So sorry, orange. So everything that appears in orange says that you have to check that again. So this says unmapped liabilities ledger. So that means this mapping has not been done, right? The same way, if you come here, unmapped assets ledger, so this mapping has not been done. So if you see, the balance sheet is tallying 37 357 222, 37 357 222, but these balances are still unmapped, which in the process I'll show you how to map them, right? And if you fill the basic info here, automatically the name would appear here. For example, I'll just show you, say the audit firm name. I'll just take our firm name, Growth Partners, and once I save this, automatically you could see here, if I update the details, like I'll click on save, and automatically it gets saved. Now you can see for growth partners here, right? So that is how this works. Whatever you update here and click on save, it gets updated in entire workbook, no matter how many worksheets you have here, right? Coming back to the balance sheet, so these are the mappings that we have to do. Some amounts are automatically mapped, and that is actually what is saving you a lot of time. I'll show you in the process. The second one is P&L. Here again it's the same thing. So like if you can see, we'll go back to tally and I'll show you the current period. The profit is 13,25,772, and if you check here, it's the same profit, right? But again, we have a few unmapped expenses and unmapped incomes. Once you map them up, it goes to the right tab, and then obviously the difference remains as a profit, and which is currently matching to your books of accounts. Then you go to trial balance, and here is where we have this entire game where we have to do the mapping. So we little be careful here. So I'll just try to explain what all details we have here so that you get a grip when you're trying to do the financials for your clients. So first one we have taken, so here we have just taken the basic information: name of the entity, report, current year, end date. Here we have taken the ledger names, whatever are there in the trial balance, what we have exported. And then we have taken the parent group. So this is the immediate group that we have created in tally. For example, some people would have created let's say debtors is a group, okay, but some people would have created Karnataka debtors, or let's say Maharashtra debtors, or let's say Andhra debtors, Andhra Pradesh debtors, and all of that. So the immediate group comes here, appears here, of whatever you have named it for your ledger. And then comes main group. Main group is the like for example sundry debtors would be the main group for Karnataka debtors, right? That appears here. But there are also cases where we've seen that clients actually rename the main group as well. So to keep uniformity, we have also given the default tally group, right? So for example secured loans, you can rename it as anything, because tally is flexible, right? You can rename it. But once we have also given the default tally group what it is called, so that you get a grip of what actually that group stands for, right? So there are some columns hidden. I'll just unhide them. Yeah, okay. So this is about the tally group, and nature of the group here is the fourth group, where if you want to create another layer, that is also possible. You can just enter that name here. And generally preparation of financials only needs closing balances, but for the brevity and for more clarification, more clarity, we have the transactions as well. So we have exported opening balance, uh, transactions, debit, credit, and again the closing balance. And then here are the bifurcate balances. So about this I'll come back later to this part. Then we have 5 classifications here. So classification 1 and 2 are automatically done. So these are based on the tallies chart of accounts. On basis of that, these classifications automatically come. Classification 3 is as per tally's knowledge. They have given us the what would be the name of the head in comparison to the financial statement format given by ICAI, right? This is the best possible thing we could expect from tally. They have given that, but if you still want to change it, you can still any day change it from here. There is a drop down with the possibilities of the heads that come under this ledger, right? So like this, classification 4 is something which we have to do manually. It's called mapping. And classification 5 is where in case the drop down doesn't have any element that you want and you want to give it a new name, you can still do it in classification 5, and that would appear in your notes to balance sheet or notes to P&L, right? And here again you can see this entire Q column where you see the unmapped ledgers, unmapped hint, which means that these are the line items rows which are unmapped at. So let's go one by one. So to categorize them, I'll just want to hide this so that we can see the ledger name, which gives us more clarity. I'll just hide it for a moment until we classify this. So let's say Abhinash capital account, I'll group this under capital 1. And you can see as soon as I group this, the status disappears here. So that means it's mapped. And also wherever it's marked as this color, beige color, that means it's pending. So again, this is again Kanishka capital account. So let's say capital 2, and this is a current account. Let's say current 1. This is again a current account. Let's say current 2. Now this is a capital reserve. We'll select capital reserve. Now this is a general reserve, right? But you do not have this option here, right? But you want something like general reserve here. Now let's see. I'll just show you something before I proceed. Let's say general reserve is a balance sheet item. I'll go to balance sheet, and here in reserves and surplus, it's note number 4. So I'll come to note number 4. Here you can see that there are only 3 options: A, B, and C, right? but we need a D option, general reserve. So Tally has beautifully covered this element as well. So for example, if there is some element which is missing in the default drop down, you can just select other reserve, and here you can write whatever you want to write. So let's say I'll write general reserve, and I'll click yes, enter, and the status is again disappeared. Here I have to click here update with notes. So once I do that, like you see there we had only three options, and now once we have successfully done that, I'll again come to balance sheet, and you can see here beautifully it's coming here 5,25,000. The amount is also same. General reserve is appearing here. If you add another reserve, probably it would come as E, then F, then G, then H, like this, right? So this is a wonderful element that Tally has brought in. Like this, you have to go on mapping everything that's there here. Uh, Everything that's there here, you have to go on mapping, so that finally when you've mapped everything and you come to balance sheet, you will see that this is zero, right? So there's no this text won't appear. This would disappear. That means you have successfully mapped everything in the balance sheet and everything in the P&L, right? So this is I for the paucity of time, I'm not covering each and every element, so that I can cover the core part of it. You can go on mapping everything here. Now we'll come to something another important topic here. I'll just unhide these sheets. Yeah, this one more thing I just wanted to show you. Like for example, trade payable, the format wants us to classify the trade payables as MSME or non-MSME. So if it is an MSME, you can just click on MSME, and if it is a non-MSME, you can click on non-MSME, and that's how this will be mapped in your notes to accounts and also categorized in your balance sheet, right? And also here there's an additional option where you can select if it's a gross block or a net block in your assets. So now for example, this is a net block. So here if you want to change it as gross block, you have to again come to basic info, and here we have given an option where you can change it to gross block. Generally the amount of chart accountants we have spoken to, majority of them are maintaining the books in a net block method. But if you are in case your case you are maintaining it in gross blocks, your clients are maintaining it in a gross block, you can select the gross block option from here, right? Coming back to the trial balance, yeah, now coming to this bifurcate balance. So this is an interesting feature what Tally has given us. Like uh, the guidance note requires us to split the balances into current and non-current, and trade receivables and payables into greater than 6 months and less than 6 months, right? Now this information obviously Tally wouldn't know, because Tally has just exported the balances, right? It has not exported any transactions. But if you are if your client is maintaining bill by bill, that is also covered here. So in case your client is maintaining bill by bill, so there is something called, here you can see this here, trade payable current year and trade payable previous year. Here you can see the classification, and here you can select whether it's a greater than 6 months or less than 6 months. All that you can do here. So sorry, it's here, trade receivable. So automatically it gets pulled here, and if any entries are on account, so that appear here as less than 6 months. In case they are more than 6 months, you can always mention the amount here, and you can remove it from here, and this is how you can follow it. But in case you do not have, just a second, I'll go back. Yeah, so in case you have not mentioned bill by bill and still you want to do the bifurcation in the balances here, that is also easy. Now let's say out of this secured loans 57,000, let's say 17,000 is non-current, you will just write 17,000 here, and like you can see 40,000 is the current value. So it automatically gets reduced. So out of this 5 lakhs, let's say 2.5 lakhs is non-current. So I'll just write 2.5 lakhs, and automatically this is 2.5 lakhs again. So similarly, if you go to trade receivables, yeah, it's here, debtors. So here you have got a total amount. If you want to split it, let's say 1,50,000 is non-current, automatically, okay. So this is telling we have to write it, it's as a negative amount. Yeah. So all these are in LO are something which you have to pay attention to. It's okay if you do not have any non-current balances, you can leave it idle as it is, and the transactions would flow, the sheet would flow. So this is one thing. And after you have done this, you have to just click on update with notes, update notes with all these changes, and once you click on yes, it will just take a couple of seconds, and like you can see, it's done, right? Now, similarly, we have a trial balance for previous year. Now, the question is, do we spend so much time again to one by one see every ledger and map all the ledgers one by one? So it's literally double the time of what it took for us to compile the trial balance of current year. The answer is no. So we have only one button here, copy mapping from current year. Once I click here and click on yes, you can see we have done these many mappings, and these are automatically picked in the previous year also, and you can see that that is also done, trial balance previous year. So these are automatically picked, and here wherever you have given changes as per classification 5, you can again click on update notes with classification 5, and you will say yes, and even that gets updated here. So this is about trial balance current year and previous year. There are a few more elements that I want to cover, which stage by stage I'll cover. And like you can see, there are notes to accounts done almost in a format which is followed by a lot of chartered accountants. And here is the balance sheet, notes to balance sheet 3. So here, fixed assets, however you maintain, sorry, not this, one second. Yeah, so let's first discuss this. So in case you want to take a print, you can just select on print here, and I'll just show you. If you say yes, so balance sheet is printed, and like I'll just show you one second. Here you can see there's so many blanks, right? So this is again a beautiful feature what Tally has given. If any of the columns are blank, both the sides in both the years, that wouldn't appear here, right? Only those row or line items which has values will appear here, otherwise it will not appear here, right? This is one element which I wanted to cover. Other than that, I guess balance sheet, notes to balance sheet and notes to P&L are all beautifully done. Wherever you have 0 as values, they will be removed automatically when you print the sheet, print the Excel sheet, and wherever you have values will be automatically appearing in the print. So like this, we have, if you have selected net, you could see it here. If you have selected gross, you could see the balances here, and you can make the changes as per your requirement. Similarly, we have all other nodes you can see here, and then we have stock of current year and stock of previous year. This is also required because I'll tell you, you can either pick the balance sheet, whatever is appearing in the balance sheet, you can pick that stock, or you can pick the stock which is appearing in the stock summary. It's left to you. That option you can choose. I'll just show you how. So in basic info, I'll just try to cover this. So now here these are automatically taken. Growth Partners NC demo, this is the name of the company, current year end date, previous year end date, name of the entity, address, PAN, partnership firm, and all of that. Yeah, trade receivable and trade payable, again, if you want to take it from trial balance, that's good. If you want to take it from the balances which have been exported from the transactions, you can take it from there also. Depends on you. So from trade payable or trade receivable sheet, it depends on you. This is an interesting feature. Now, for example, everything here in balance sheet is appearing in like so many zeros are there, right? If you want to update that in thousands, right? So you can just tell round off to nearest thousands, and you will again save this, and let's say you click on yes. It will take a moment, but once it's done, it's here. So everywhere you will see amount in thousands and all these values. A lot of our chartered accountant friends and clients are actually surprised that Excel is so capable to do so many things, because they are now seeing the actual potential of Excel. This is almost like a software, right? Just that we are using in the medium that we already know. The same way, all this I've already told that you can go on filling, and this is about the uh, financial statements for non-corporate entities through TallyPrime and the Excel tool given by the TallyPrime Tally Solutions. So I hope we have done justice to the time you have invested in this video. And in case you have any queries, you feel free to post in the comment box, because this is not live, this is a recorded one. Uh, and I'll just go to the presentation again. Yeah. So mapping your data. So mapping your data, we have just concluded the mapping of the data, and I'll like to cover a few frequently asked questions. So first question, what we are getting is Schedule 3 format also ready with Tally? Answer is no. Currently, it's not available, but with the kind of response we are getting for this format for financial statements for non-corporate entities, I guess it's high time we should also do Schedule 3, and I believe it's in process and will be out soon. Next question we've got is, do we also have a format for charitable trust format? Answer is no. Currently, we are only the support sole proprietorships, partnerships, and HUF, and the other formats would be soon out whenever the company releases them. Tally ERP support. Lot of chartered accountants are still stuck with Tally ERP for their clients. We would suggest you to move to TallyPrime. If you think this migration and all of that is little tricky for you, you can always reach out to us, growth partners, your Tally certified partners, and our team would help you migrate the data easily to TallyPrime 6.0 and also activate this add-on from where you can start using this financial statement format. Then key takeaways, what we think this add-on is doing is it's a streamlined reporting. So simplify financial statement generation for non-corporate entities. It's just simplifying for us. It's compliance focused. So everything like you saw in the sheet, everything is as per the guidance note of ICAI. So there's no room for any confusion there. Future enhancements. So like I told you, we are seeing the success of this format. We've got a lot of requests for Schedule 3, and I guess in time to come, it will soon be out. So this is about us. Growth Partners is our consulting firm. And one element which I missed, I guess I should cover that. I'll come back to balance sheet. And oh yeah, this element. So there's another question that we keep getting, that after mapping the data, what if there are changes in Tally again? Does Tally get auto refreshed? Answer is no. Tally does not get auto refreshed because you are not linking an ODBC. You're just importing an XML. So for that, the option, we've also given an option. I'll show you. So if you go to basic info and if you save this, so all the mapping gets saved, right? So now if you import an XML again after doing the changes in Tally, so the mappings remain as it is. Of course, the mapping, the changes you have done for this greater than 6 months, less than 6 months, current, non-current will change. But other than that, all those mappings, classification 4 and all of that, what you've done will still remain. And that is how it will help you save time, even if you have done a couple of changes after doing all the classifications. Otherwise, it would definitely be a nightmare. And one more element which I wanted to cover is this. So here we have given this print option. So you can just select on print, and you can see here there are so many blanks. So nobody wants to show a blank in the report. So when you click on print and let's say you say yes, so the balance sheet that gets generated will not have any blanks, right? It will only have those elements which has values. Here you can see it has come out with a PDF which with the unmapped liabilities ledger and unmapped assets ledger. This is because we have not mapped it yet, right? And like you remember, we had marked it as give us in thousands, and that is also done. And similarly, in case some chartered accountants also have a requirement, like they have their own format, they want to copy paste in that format and work from there, or they want to change some formatting or some nomenclature or something. So we also have an option called export to MS Excel. Once you click on this option, so now this is a hands-free MS Excel for you without any formulas, exactly a replica of this protected Excel, and this is free for you, as in you can make any changes, you can change, you can do any changes, no questions asked, no strings attached. You can make any changes to this Excel sheet as per your format, what your CA firm follows from a long time. All that you can do. In case notes of accounts, you want to add something, remove something, whatever, all that can be done. So balance sheet, P&L, and notes to accounts, everything is exported here. So Tally currently does not support this add-on does not support cash flow statements, but other than the cash flow statements are anyways not mandatory for non-corporate entities. But other than that, I guess Tally has pretty much tried to touch every part of the guidance note and try to make it as simple as possible, like their name goes, power of simplicity. And we have already been seeing a lot of chartered accountants and tax practitioners already using this format. And in case you have any queries with regards to this format or any suggestions with regards to this format of how this can be improved, feel free to reach out to Tally Solutions or us at Growth Partners. We are certified partners at Tally and many more softwares, and we would help you implement these solutions at your offices as well. With this, we come to the final uh, thank you slide, and thank you all of you for your patient listening. And in the description box, you have our number where you can reach out to us for any Tally products, services, or any software needs for your